Hello, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. On behalf of the Mead Library Facebook live stream ukulele series in the month of April, I want to welcome everybody to this evening's class. This is a really wonderful, wonderful song we're going to work on all together tonight. It is a tune called the Boodle Am Shake. And in jug band music circles, this is considered to be an all-time classic, a real fun piece to play that's definitive of an era, a bygone era with some of the most playful music ever recorded in American history. Jug band music, the likes of which recorded by Memphis Jug Band, Gus Cannon's Jug Stompers, and dozens of other groups of that era, lives on today through jug bands and string bands across the country. I like to play these songs, and this is a great tune to learn. The skill level for this I would call advanced beginner on up, and I'm going to try and simplify this as much as I can. And that's something I really enjoy doing when I'm teaching, is trying to show multiple levels, multiple ways to do something. And so the music, as it is for all these classes, the easiest way to find this music, anytime you're joining us on Mondays and Thursdays, is simply just to go to lilrev.com, scroll down, you'll see a dark little tab box that says Sheboygan U Club. Click on that, and that's the Google Drive that we use for sharing music for educational stuff like this. And there you should see a little title that says Jug Band Class and the date. And there are 2 pages there that will go with this class tonight. I'll reach over and show you what I'm looking at here. And one of them looks kind of like that. And then there's another second page. I'll take over here. And it looks kind of like that. And that's what we're working with tonight. And but a lot of what we're going to do is by ear. So if you don't have copies of this music, you still got a couple minutes to go and get them or print them out and retrieve them off the Google Drive. They're also posted on the Mead thread as well. So if you look at the top of the thread, my wife Jenna usually drops the music in or the link to it right there, and you can print those out so you have them. Okay? This will also be archived, and you can follow up and go back to it. In fact, a lot of people like to catch it the day after. And so however way you want to go about it. So the Boodle Am Shake was recorded in 1926, and there are horns and violin and all kind of cool instruments. The Dixieland jug blowers. And so I'm going to start out by playing a little bit of this for you, so you got a sense of what this arrangement that I'm going to teach sounds like. And this will really come alive with other instruments, but it sounds good by itself too. I'm going to show you all the fun things that people do with this, including the ukulele flip, blowing it into the ukulele, kind of fun tricks like that. And there's a fun little walk down of what the horn's doing. We'll do that. I'll talk to you about that. There's something in here that was synonymous with the Tin Pan Alley era, which was a turnaround. And I've always known it as the Tin Pan Alley turnaround, and that's this thing that starts the song over and over again, where it goes. Okay? You can learn a lot about those kind of things in my book, Intros, Endings, Turnarounds, and Vamps, too, which I'll highlight later in the class. What else is there? This is a sort of song that could be played with the Boodle. And that's a class all by itself, starting on the upbeat and ending on the upbeat as a sliding strum. This Thursday, I'll be teaching about sliding your chords, so that ties into this, okay? And let's see, what else? Boy, there's just so many little lessons wrapped up in this song. So we'll have about 50 minutes to work on one song. However long it takes to get through this, we'll see. Okay? Last thing I'll say before I finally begin demoing this is we love to hear from you. So say hello and where you're from in the thread. We appreciate knowing that. And hang on, because here we go. All right, so here we go. Boodle Am Shake. This is kind of what it's going to sound like once we get going with this tonight. Goes like this. All right. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doo. Shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, whoa. Break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, whoa. You know it don't mean a thing. Just do that same old Johnson swing when you sing. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doo. All right, so there's a lot of fun stuff in there. We can throw the stop time flip in there. We can throw the Royce smack blow into the sound hole. We can do the shake at the end. There's all kind of fun stuff happening in this kind of a playful vaudeville and jug band era tune. Okay, so let's talk about the music now. And this is really well worth working on, adding to your repertoire. So the first chord that we're going to play in here is a C7 chord. Now, you beginners, you can play it just like this. You can play it just like that. You can go C7, E7, A minor, that kind of a thing. You can do it in basic first position. But the real excitement with this arrangement is actually walking the progression up the neck. And so the very first chord is the hardest chord in the whole arrangement if you play an inverted C7 chord, okay? And I'll show you the easiest way to think of this, all right? Make a G7 chord, okay? But try to make it so that you have this finger free, all right? Everybody knows how to make a G7 chord, right? So make a G7 chord and leave that first finger free. Now, take that chord, okay? And if you're looking at the chart with the actual music notation on it, you will see that you slide that all the way up to the 7th fret and you drop your first finger down onto the 5th fret of the G string, okay? So you start out, you make a G7 shape, slide that all the way up the neck, okay, to the 7th fret, and then drop your first finger down onto the 1st fret of the G string, or the 5th fret of the G string, correction, okay? And then that gives you a C7, a movable C7 chord. Okay, so one last time, because this is the hardest part, okay? How to get into this shape, okay? One chart that I made available tonight shows you the actual grid for how to make it. Actually, they both show you, okay? But one of them also has the numbers on it, which shows you where you would put your fingers as well. So there's multiple ways to figure this out, okay? So again, you make a G7 chord, all right? Slide that all the way up to the 7th fret, okay? Now drop your first finger down onto the 5th fret of the G string, and that gives you a really cool C7 form, okay? Play a little tremolo on that, okay? By the way, all you people playing sopranos in concerts tonight, these vaudeville era songs just love the littler ukuleles. I don't know, they just sound really good on the smaller ooks. Something about that, okay? So you got 2 strokes on the C7, right? C7, C7, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go pop, pop. Try that with me. I do it, you do it. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. Okay, now this is a nonsense song. The words in this don't mean anything. They're just nonsense, but it's fun to play. Okay, so you're gonna go Boodle Am. Okay, I do it, you do it. Boodle Am. Okay, good. Now the next chord, it just gets easy now. All right, you're gonna bar on the 4th fret, and you're gonna make a movable 7th chord. A lot of you know this chord form from up here. You know D7. Well, if you slide it up to the 4th fret, it's an E7. Okay? So now you're going to go from C7 to E7. All right? So now we're going to go stroke, 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 stroke. Okay? 1, 2, 1, 2. Almost all the chords early on are going to be just 2 strokes. You can do this. I'm telling you. Okay, watch. Boodle Am, Boodle Am. Okay? C7 to E7. Try with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle Am, Boodle Am. Good. One more time. We're almost ready for the next chord. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle Am, Boodle Am. Okay, good. You got C7 to E7. Now you're going to go to A minor. And that's just a simple one finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. That gives you A minor. Okay? So now we've got 3 chords. All right? Everybody ready? On 4, we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's where we wind up on A minor. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am. Okay? Even easier now. Now you got an E7th chord in the 1st position. Okay? One finger on the 1st fret of the G string, another finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, and another finger down on the 2nd fret of the A string. And that gives you an E7 shape. Okay? Okay? Give me a little tremolo on that E7. Okay? Technically, this whole progression could be played with tremolo. As a variation on your theme. Okay? There's always something to add to these tunes. Okay? So here we go. Now we're going to do C7 twice, E7 twice, A minor twice, E7 twice. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, boo. Oh, what did I do? I added an A7th in there. Now this is where it changes. Thus far, we played 2 strokes or 2 beats on each chord, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we wind up on an A7th chord, okay? So if you're looking at the music, you're going to see there's hash marks there for a total of 8 beats, right? You can strum those any way you want, as long as it fills up the space of 2 measures. So watch me. Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, boo, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll finally go to the next chord, okay? So, building on itself incrementally, okay? Because I have a lot of courageous beginners with us tonight who really want to do this song, okay? So, all you hotshots out there, don't get ahead of us, okay? Here we go. All right, so here we go. Ready? We're going to do C7 twice, E7 twice, A minor twice, E7 twice, and then we're going to strum on A7 for 2 measures. Okay, that's your goal. You're getting this. Here we go. And Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, boo, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we're almost there because this whole thing repeats 2 times before it goes to the bridge. All right? So once you got this, you just about have the whole song. All right? And all you instrumentalists out there, there's a lot of room in this fun little catchy melody for improvisation. Check out, I posted these to the various threads on Mark Revinson, Lil Rev Facebook page, Sheboygan Youth Club page, and even Mead, to check out the original versions by the Dixieland Jug Blowers, Jim Queskin Jug Band, And one of my favorite contemporary interpreters of these kinds of songs, Tuba Skinny from down in New Orleans. Okay, listen to those versions so get the playfulness with all the horns and all the instruments and all the runs and the bass, the tuba playing the bass and all that stuff. So it just really comes alive. Okay, all right. So you guys ready now? One more time, all the way up to the A7th, and then I'm going to keep going and show you how it sounds if we add a D7th and a G7th chord. That'll be the last part before the tin pan alley turnaround. Okay, so here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. D7 now. Doodle am, G7. Doodle am, do. Okay, that's pretty easy. All right. There's a little diminished chord coming up that's a little more challenging. Okay, that we're going to have to talk about if you've never played diminished chords. Okay. So do that much with me all the way through now, all the way to the G7th and all the way back to the C. All right, so here we go. You got the chart in front of you as well. Everybody ready? Real slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, do. Yes. Okay. All right. This is what we're talking about when we're having fun. Okay. Now, right after that last stroke where you land on the word do, you're going to do. So you're going to strike a C one time. You're going to strike a diminished chord one time. And then you're going to strike a G7. And that's a 4 beat right there. Okay. So let's talk about this diminished chord. Okay, so we're going to make, well, what I like to do is I like to put 2 fingers down, look real closely at this, one right here, okay, that's the 2nd fret of the G string, 2nd fret of the E string, okay, now, I'm going to take these other 2 fingers, and they're both going to go down onto the 3rd fret of their respective strings, C and A, okay, that's your C diminished chord there. Okay, a lot of you heard me say this before, but those diminished chords, there's a lot of tension in those chords, so you don't stay on them very long, but they add a tremendous amount of spice to the vaudeville and the Tin Pan Alley, the Broadway and the swing repertoires. And so when you hit that chord, you might only be on it for a second, but boy, it just adds all kind of flavor. Diminished chords are also the chords of horror movies and suspense and drama movies. When you hear a diminished chord, you're always going to hear the screaming in the movie. Listen to the old Alfred Hitchcock movies, right? When you hear that diminished chord, here it comes. Ah! Right? Okay, you're always going to hear that. So when you get to that do, you're going to go bop, bop, bop. Now there's no way around this, you guys. When it comes to that diminished chord, if that's too hard for the beginners, then what you do is you go C, mute, G7. C, mute, G7. C, mute, G7. Until you get good enough at being able to grab that 4-finger chord that's calling your name. Okay? All right? So you can do it. The chords you can't play initially, you just mute the strings, but strike that beat, and it'll sound good, and nobody will know that you don't know that chord yet. Okay? So try with me again. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, diminished, G7. Again, C, diminished, G7. Now, those of you who took my roll stroke class, okay, we had 2 parts. This is where it would be a great spot for a roll stroke. Because you could go C, diminish, roll, G7, okay? Roll, 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 and really emphasize that, you know? So this is what it would sound like when you put all that together. Listen. You see, I threw even more in there than what I intended to do. It just felt right to me. Okay? You can slap the ukulele. You know, like you can, instead of doing 2 strokes, you can, instead of going, ba, 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 you could go. Okay, now, when you listen to the recording, all right, when you get to that A7th, that's when there's all kind of instrumental playfulness of the fiddle and the horns doing all kind of stuff right there. You got extra space. So if you're not an instrumentalist, that's the part where later on you could throw in the flip, the blow, the Roy smack. It's like blowing in a soda bottle. You got to find the sweet spot. And then it'll pop, okay? So that's the part where you could go pick up the uke and do that. And we're going to come back to that in a little bit, all right? That's the shtick in vaudeville, right? So let's try that whole thing again now, one more time. Then we're going to go on to the next part and finally the bridge, okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle. That's it. G7. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am. C, diminished G7. Again. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle. All right. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, do. And the only time you don't play that Tin Pan Alley turnaround is when you're coming to the very end of the song. You're coming to the very end of the song, then you just go doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doo. Or whatever you want to add. If you know better endings. Anything cool like that, because you studied my intros, endings, and turnarounds book, then you can throw those in there too. All right? All right? So that's your first part. The second part is exactly the same, the next verse where it says shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, except instead of doing the turnaround, you're going to go to a C7 chord right into the bridge. So let me sing the second part for you and go into the bridge because they go together, you know, like birds of a feather. So watch how it goes now, and you'll see. You already know how to do this practically. Besides, the bridge just goes to a 4/7 chord, and it also has a G7. So there's nothing else tricky about this. Once you get used to that C7 shape up the neck, that's the hardest part of the whole song, right there. That moved up to the 7th fret, okay, and maybe this diminished chord right here. So you have 2 hard chords, and the rest are all easy. Okay. Remember, I said advanced, beginner on up. Okay, so here we go. All right, here's the second part. All right. Shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg now. Break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, whoa. And then it goes. You know, don't mean a thing. Just do that plain old Charleston rag when you sing. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. Some people sing Johnson rag or Charleston rag. You can put whatever you want in there, really. Okay? And then there'd be some kind of an instrumental. Now, you know, look, I like to do like throw the kazoo in there, and you got a really cool tune. All right, well, let's keep going now. All right, so looking at shake a leg, you're going to make that C7 chord. And again, I'm going to hold your hand one more time. To make that C7 chord, you are going to make a G7 shape, slide it all the way up to the 7th fret, and then drop your first finger down onto the 5th fret of the G string. Okay, so here we go again. You ready? Same thing. Shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg now. D7. Break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, break a leg. Wow. Now, if you're looking at the chart that I gave you, one of the two charts is going to show, let's see here, one of the charts is going to show this G7, and one of them shows the F7 shape moved up to the 3rd fret, and that's another way to make G7. Okay, so you could go break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, wow. And again, what happens is you take an F7 chord and you slide it up to the 3rd fret, and that gives you a G7. Okay, all right, so pop me a message and into the thread and let me know if you're having a good time doing this. I'm used to teaching these sort of classes with, a full audience and a lot of feedback and that sort of thing. So what I get back from this now is when you guys comment on the thread and I hear that you're having a good time and you're enjoying this and you're learning something. So don't hesitate to communicate with me. All right. And my wife Jen is always letting me know if there's questions. You can pop those into the thread. She's often letting me know how many folks we got joining us and from where they're from. And I like to know those things while I'm teaching it. It gives me that feedback that I get if I had to be teaching in front of a class of 40, 50, 60, or 100 people. Okay? So, so let's do shake a leg, all the way on through the bridge where it says, it don't mean a thing. Just do that plain old Johnson rag. Okay, now when you get to the end of that phrase, Johnson rag, that's also where you could flip or blow into the ukulele and then it all starts all over again. Okay? Some groups like to play it really slow to start and then double time it the next time through. So one time they might go, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boo. And the next time they might really swing time, do Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boo. That kind of makes it fun. You got somebody doing washboard, or wash tub bass, okay, playing some of the jug band instruments, jug. Then this really comes alive, all right? I did record this tune on my Drop Baby Drop album with trombone and bass and other instruments. So if you want to hear my rendition of it, check this record out, Drop Baby Drop. And there's a lot of cool jug band 20s and 30s stuff on this album. It's one small way you can support my efforts to make a living during the coronavirus crisis here, okay? So now we're going to take it all the way from the top, all the way through, 2 or 3 times. And then I'm going to teach you some other little tricks for this, like the little riff. Okay, and the flip, and the blow, and some other things that I might do that you might keep in mind for later on, but they're things that require other skills. Okay, so here we go all together from the top of the arrangement. I know there's like a second delay here, but you can do the best you can to follow along. Right? Remember, your 2 hardest chords are your C7th if you played up the neck, and your diminished chord right there. All right? If you can do that, you're doing pretty good. All right? You beginners, you play all first position. C7th, E7th up here, A minor, A7th, D7th as an open shape, G7th. You don't have to play some of these movable chords like the E7th or the A minor here or the G7th right here or the D7th up here. There's so many cool ways to play the same chord. That's what makes this learning fun. Okay? So here we go. All together now. You guys ready? All right, it's jug band time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. 4, 1, 2, 3, D7. Doodle am, doodle, G7. Doodle am, 2. Diminished G7. And again now. Boodle C7. Lamb, doodle, lamb, doodle, lamb, doodle, lamb, do. Now you go to C7. F7. You know, don't mean nothing. Just do the plain old Johnson ring when you sing. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, do. Shake a leg. Here we go. Shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg. Wow. Break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, break a leg. Wow. F7. You know, don't mean a thing. Just do that plain old Johnson ring. 2, 3, 4. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, do. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, a couple of things now. All right. First of all, in the vaudeville era, while this shape for strumming predominated, you see this in a lot of the old shorts, right? That hand going really fast. But a lot of times the good players would rest their thumb on their first finger to support that finger. So you're getting this kind of a thing. And that's really good for this kind of a song. It gives you that real punchy kind of stroke. So if you want to rest your thumb on your finger, that's the old vaudeville way to do that. Okay? So that's one little tip now. All right? And then some of the other things that we were talking about, the flip. All right? So the ukulele flip, where would that happen? Where would I do it in the song? I would do it right here, where I have to fill space. I'd go, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am. Did you see it? Okay. So how do you do the flip? For those who don't know already. All right. To do the flip, you strike whatever last chord you're going to be on one time. Then you reach down, you grab the front of the ukulele, you give it a little bit of a tug forward. Let this hand support it, and boom, it turns around. Okay? Makes you look like you really know what you're doing. Okay? All right? So when you get to that last chord before the flip, A7th would be the place, right on the word boo, where you go, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. That boo, right? When you hit that boo, boo, that's where you're going to flip it. Okay? So try that with me now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am. C, diminish, G7. And then the whole thing would start again. So that's one fun little trick. Now, I want to tell you a little something about the jug band. Okay? And the jug band era, all these guys who came along and did all this stuff that we remember as being iconic. Jimi Hendrix playing guitar with his teeth, right? T-Bone Walker playing guitar behind his head, right? Chuck Berry strutting across the stage with his guitar between his legs. All this kind of shtick had its roots in the vaudeville era, where the entertainers, practiced incessantly to perfect 10 or 15 minutes of time on stage. And so the jug bands, which primarily played out on the street corners, it behooved them to be theatrical and have showmanship, because the whole idea was playing for tips. And people would be walking by and they would, they'd drop money in the case down there off of Beale Street where the Memphis Jug Band played. Now, if they were lucky, people walk by and say, wow, that's some great music. Are you available on Saturday night? Come for a play at a private party. And then they'd get gigs on the weekends. But it's that kind of showmanship, like one person reaching over and playing the other person's uke while the other person reached over and played their guitar. Like that kind of shtick really came out of the jug band and vaudeville era, the novelty of it all. So when we flip our ukes, we're tapping into a time-honored tradition. Okay, so let's try that one more time. We're going to flip it on the word boo, okay, and the word now. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. That's where you would have flipped it. Caught you off guard, didn't I? Okay, don't forget this next time. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, do. Diminished G7. Shake a leg. Shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg. Now 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, break a leg. Wow, C to C7. Don't mean a thing. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just do that plain old Johnson rag. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. You could have flipped it right there. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, do. Now, an alternative to flipping it would be to do what Roy Smeck did, which is put the ukulele up to your chin, and it fits neatly right there. Like, see that little spot right there? Put that ukulele right up to your chin. Now, remember when you were a kid and you blow it into the Coca-Cola bottle and you got a really cool sound? Well, if you talk or blow into the ukulele, you'll get you'll find an angle where it really works. And it makes a popping sound. So guys like Roy Smeck would do that in the middle of a song, and it'd be really cool. So instead of flipping it, you could go boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, do. Okay, now the ending. What is that? That's the ukulele shake. So again, for those of you who don't know this, when you get to the end of the song, you strum. You're ready to end the song, and you're like, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, do. You strike that last chord, and then you do the old-time Tim Pinelli shake, which is strumming the strings open so that they ring out in a C6 chord, grabbing the lower bout of the ukulele, and by the way, you can do this on any song that is in the key of C. Okay, so strum the strings open, grab the back end of the ukulele, and shake it as hard as you can. Now, you're not going to get a lot of time in there because the ukulele doesn't sustain itself. So, and if you're plugged in, much harder to do. All right, so it's the minute you strum those strings open, you better grab it and shake it. Okay, watch. Okay. Okay, and what did I do? I did the ukulele shtick. You got to add some shtick. Okay, now I know I'm not the hippest guy here. I'm getting older. I got my shades, and they're sitting on the edge of my nose. But I'm like a librarian or a teacher, I guess, at this point in my life. And I left all the vanity behind. So when you get to this point, it really helps if you actually show some ukulele attitude. And that looks like this. What is ukulele attitude? So when you come to the end, you strum the strings open, grab the ukulele right here, shake it, but don't go like this. Don't do a deer in the headlights. Okay? That will not get any applause. You got to go. Okay? Give me a little bit of shtick, right? Okay, that's what people remember. You wake up all the people at the nursing home when you do this. All right? So now we're going to put it all together. one more time chordally, and then I'll show you the cool little melodic riff that anybody can play. It's super easy, okay? All right, so I'm about to play it through one more time. But you heard me talking about the jug band era musicians playing out on the street for tips, and you can see right behind me is my little pitch. This is the pitch, right? And it's sitting back there, and it says PayPal and Venmo. And I'm not going to hit you over the head with this. A lot of you have been coming back week after week. I'm so grateful for your tips, and that I can try to make a little bit of money during this downturn in physically appearing out on the road and teaching and performing. So I do appreciate it. As one musician once said, don't be a schmuck, give up a buck. I think that was out on the streets of New Orleans, which makes this song really come alive. All right, so that is appreciated. Now let's get back to playing the tune. Okay, here we go. Ready? You're going to do 2 strokes on each chord. C7th, E7th, A minor, E7th, A7th. Okay? All right, you ready? You think about that sequence. C7th, E7th, A minor, E7th, A7th. Okay? Then you got D7, G7. So here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. You could flip it right there. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am. Shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, wow, or now. Break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, wow. You know, don't mean a thing. Just do that plain old Charleston ring when you sing. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. We're gonna end it here now. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am. Okay, and remember what I said. Sounds good if you can play this, do it around, like double time it, you know? Starts to come alive right there. Okay. What is another hard aspect of this song? Well, for beginners, okay, if this chord is new to you, the one where I said play the G7th and then move it up, you know, and if you don't leave that finger open, it's going to be really hard to make that chord. So that's why I always say practice making your G7th like that, and then move it up to the 7th fret, and you got that movable 7th form right there. Okay. And that is a really nice chord, okay? Remember seeing Lil Rev play that a lot. You can play it anywhere on the neck. Becomes another chord, okay? That's the one we want right now, okay? So after you get done with this phrase, and you go, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, da, 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 right? After you finish that, for the beginner, it's going to be hard to think, oh my God, I got to get all the way back up here and play that chord. But once you've played it many, many times and you have familiarized, it'll be easy to just jump back and grab that. But right now, tonight, it's going to seem very clumsy and hard. All right, so just work on it. You'll get it. In the meantime, you can play this C7th right here, and that'll work for you too. But it doesn't have the same pizzazz when you go. You know, when you try to do it like that. Matter of fact, I just threw myself off. It sounds so much better when you. It's like that really, really sounds good. Okay, almost has a chord melody kind of feel to it, right? So now I'm going to show you the little riff, okay? And there's a cool little riff here that that I like to teach you. That's kind of like a little walk down, okay? And what you do is you're going to do the seventh fret of the A string, okay? That is a E note, okay? So you got C, D, E, right? So you're going to go 7, 7, 7. Hey, let me switch ukuleles. You'll hear this one a little more prominently if I switch to my resonator, okay? Okay, so you're gonna go 7, 7, 5, 5, 3, 3, 2, 2, open. Okay. At that point, you're strumming on the A7 chord right after that. Okay. And then you're following the progression just like you normally would if you were doing the whole song, okay? So try this with me, okay? Again, just like you'd be doing 2 strokes on each chord, you're doing 2 strokes on each beat, okay? So watch. 7, 7, 5, 5, 3, 3, 2, 2, open. And then you go right to strumming the A7. So that open, that's like right when you would have landed on the A7th. Then you go to it, and you strike 3 more strokes for that first measure and 4 more for the next. It would give you this. Okay? And then you'd go right back into the song. All right? So you got E, E, D, T, C, C, B, B, A. And then you go to the A7. Okay? All right? So try that with me, everybody. Ready? On 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the A7. Ba, 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 D7. G7. Now that turnaround. Oh, what did I just do there? A classic vaudeville stroke. Right? That's the old fan stroke, which I'm hoping to be teaching some point in May. Watch my Facebook page, Mark Revinson or Lil Rev, and when you see a class titled The Simplified Fan Stroke, some point in May, then you can sign on and learn how to do that, okay? But any old triplet will work right there, right? You can go. Okay, you can go. There's a lot of different ways to do it, okay? So let's try this again. Keep your eyes on the prize now, all right? By the way, did I say it's a business doing pleasure with you guys, okay? Here we go. Ready? 7, 7, 5, 5, 3, 3, 2, 2, open, A7, D7 now. Is this melody stuck in your head yet? I heard my wife earlier walking around singing and she goes, oh, that's catchy. That's right, because once you get this little melody in your head, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. Doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doo. Da, dee da da da. Break a leg, break a leg, break a leg, break a leg now. Or any other order. Shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, shake a leg, whoa. Okay, it's just got pizzazz, it's got chutzpah, it's got, that vaudeville essence to it, right, with a jug band flavor. So if you want to add the little walk down, you can add that you can make that your intro to the song. You could go. And then the song begins right here. Boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boodle am, boo. Or you could make it your outro. You could go at the very end of the song. You can go. Okay, don't forget that shake at the end. Okay? Matter of fact, let's practice that shake. Let's sing Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boo. And then when we get to the end, don't play the turnaround. Don't play that part. Pretend that the song's going to end, and let's do the shake right at the end. Strum it open and shake. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boodle Am, Boo. Get ready to end it now. Doodle Am, Doodle Am, Doodle Am, Doodle Am, do. Okay? You almost have to take a chord of rest right after you strike the last C chord. You take one breath and then strum it and boom, right? So you go doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, doodle am, do. Okay? So it's like there's a breath and then boom, right into it. And that's kind of the old tradition of ending some of these tunes. Okay? So all you claw hammer people, you can probably claw hammer that melody. You go. Okay? That's kind of cool. You can do that. You could tremolo it. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like that too. Okay. Let's see. I think just picking it with the thumb is probably going to be best, but okay. Sometimes I like to add some other little parts to it where I'll go. And then I'll do a little boogie woogie. So I'll walk it, I'll go. So there's lots of fun things that you can do with this, and if you have instrumental abilities, even more so. Okay, my goal was to just show you some of the potential in some of these vaudeville songs. So a few other little asides for resources now. One is go on YouTube and look up jug band songs by the Memphis Jug Band and Gus Cannon's Jug Stompers. Listen to the Dixieland Jug Blowers, who recorded the original of this song. It's fabulous music, just dynamite. Turn out the lights, put on the music, have a cold glass of water or whatever you want to drink, and just listen to the music and just hear it. It's timeless. And so that's one thing. There are lots of other resources. Aaron Kime, the Quiet American, he's got a cool little book of jug band songs just for strumming, chords and words that you can order off of his website. And Mark Nelson, a really great fingerstyle ukulele player, Mark Nelson's got a book of arrangement of jug band songs for fingerstyle. So, if you think about this, one could play these songs with fingerstyle. So they sound great however you want to play them. Tonight we focused on strumming them, all right? And Boodle Am Shake is just one of many, many, many great tunes. Learn things like Stealin', Stealin', Walk Right In, Sit Right Down, You May Leave, but This Will Bring You Back. This is just classic American music. And what a lot of us either forgot or didn't know is that the music we love, the Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia, the Lovin' Spoonful, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. So many groups that we came to love got started playing jug band music. And so this laid the foundation for a lot of really fun music that became popular music in the 60s and 70s and beyond. So go back and listen to the original. I have a lot of cool traditional blues and jug band stuff in my downloadable. There's a PDF of this on my website, or a physical copy of Lil Rev's Strum Along songbook. A lot of cool stuff I've recorded on records like Drop Baby Drop, okay? And a lot of fun strumming techniques in my Essential Strums and Strokes book through Hal Leonard. Great company, great music publishing company. And then lastly, I would like to show you that this is a great book for a lot of Tin Pan Alley and vaudeville chord voicings and intros, endings, and turnarounds. I hope to present a class on this in the month of May. So watch my Facebook page for the next sequence of classes online, because most of my work was canceled for the next few months. So I will be teaching online, and this will be a place you can count on finding me pretty regularly, once or twice a week. I'm here for you. You can count on me. It's a business doing pleasure with you, as they say. And once again, PayPal, Venmo. If you learned something tonight and you appreciate it, I'm awfully grateful and appreciate that so much. Okay. Coming up on Wednesday is a class, or I shouldn't say a class, a concert, 7 p.m. Central Time from my Facebook page, Mark Revinson, Lil Rev, on a whole hour exploring clawhammer ukulele. Mostly this is a performance, but I will be doing a little bit of instruction on how to get this sound. That clawhammer stroke, okay? Okay, so I'll be playing the rest of that piece on Wednesday night along with a lot of others. And so tune in for that program. And Thursday, I'm back again at Mead, right here on this Facebook page, teaching slurring and sliding your chords, which is a often overlooked, very simple idea about how to take movable chord shapes and create a propulsive, really strumming drive to everything you do, simply by slurring your chords. And we'll take 3 or 4 songs and we'll work on this concept of okay, and it really does make a difference. If I was singing Crawdad song, get a line and I'll get a pole now, honey, honey, and I was doing nothing but holding the chord, that's what it sounded like. If I start to slur the chords, it's going to give the song a real momentum that is missing when we don't know how to do this. So, for example, you get a line and I get a pole now, honey, honey. You get a line and I get a pole now, babe, babe. So I'm going to teach all about that very simple but often overlooked concept. It's a good class for all levels. And then how to even take it and make it more fancy in the advanced upper levels of players. Okay? I think that's all that I have to share with you guys tonight. Thanks to my studio engineer, Jenna Lynn, and thanks to Mead Public Library for being a big supporter of what I do here in Sheboygan and beyond. Very grateful to them, being a real community-based library. And to all of you for tuning in when there's a million other things going on out there. And just remember what's the old saying? A lark can neither be, a lark whose wings are broken can never be permanently confined to the ground. Eventually, we will all fly again, and eventually we'll get back to moving about and meeting each other in person. So until that time comes again, don't let the ditch get in your road. Thank you.
Okay, hold on 1 second. What happened? Not sure what happened. Here, it's still going.